Hello, welcome to Popalong RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing. And we're here again, we're at the Beds Club. What are you running tonight, boss?
LMP now, I didn't know that. So we'll give it a go, shall we? See how we get on? But it's an old one, it's not a new one. The only thing is I've got one transponder, so I've got to keep switching it over. However, we've got the classic TT01 here. We've gone back to basics with this, really. A good fun class, enjoying that. And then the start of our little LMP journey with the Schumacher Eclipse 4. Just to have a go, really, see how we get on. But there you go.
As for me, I am running my TT01. These tyres are probably a couple of years old, proper old. But you know what? I don't really care. It's a bit of fun. And that is why we do the Tamiya class, because it is a bit of fun. This bit here is a little bit serious. Like, he's just put additive on his wheels about a minute ago, and now he's wiping it back off again. What's that all about? Anyway, let's go see how he gets on the track. Okay, so here he is. Pro driver Mark, we call him. He's going to follow Pitman Dave out to the track. Let's see how we get on. It's a really good track today, actually. So this is top heat of the GT12s, just finishing. And it'll be interesting to see how Mark's LMP times compare to the top heat of the GT12s. So at this club, we've got some really good drivers. We've got Finn up on the rostrum, who Mark's going to be racing in the LMPs. And he is a sponsored Schumacher driver, also runs in the Nationals. And he's got his old man, who is a bit of a ledge when it comes to car setup. He knows what he's talking about. So here is Mark's car on the track. So Mark came over to you with his LMP today. Yeah. And what was wrong with it?
It's tweaked.
It was tweaked.
Yeah. So if he's caught any corners, it's just chassis twisted slightly. Not as in physically twisted, but under a few screws. Raised the plate that holds the side springs, because it's just touching down one side of one of the side springs, so it just takes the tweak out the springs and allows the wheels to lift nicely on their own. Because it was with a 12 car, if you've got like the front wheels, one's lifting quicker than the other. When you lift the front up, it'll just bite. This won't go round nicely. They have to be right. So we raised the posts and sorted that out. And it's literally got no tweaking it at all now. So I'm hoping if he's dried his tyres off all right, it's going to go around okay.
Okay, so let's have a little look. So we've got Finn out in front and Mark just behind. So let's see how he gets on. Do you know what? Already he's looking more consistent than when we were driving this car a couple of weeks back. Because when we drove it last time down here, it did seem to really jump to the right when he was going around the track. So the right turns were really twitchy, whereas the left, it kind of understeered a little bit. So it is looking a lot more balanced going around the track. Actually, Mark's putting in a few half-decent laps at the moment, which is quite impressive. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to try and pick up Finn. And unbelievably, Mark is now in the lead. This is amazing. Mark is beating Finn. No pressure, Mark, but you're beating Finn. Finn is feeling the pressure. Oh, Mark stuffed it up. That is ridiculous. Pro racer Mark is no pro. He can't take the pressure. He's rattled now. So the thing is with these cars, because obviously we're running foam tyres, when they get on the dirt, the traction and the grip really does fall off if you pick up a load of dust. So you really do want to try and stick to the race line. Also with the racing line, lots of additive gets put down, so there'll be a fast line on the track. So as soon as you come off it, it gets a little bit twitchy. Again, there's only two people on the track, so I think they're having a little bit of fun. Finn's going to have to work on his racecraft, see if he can get past Mark clean. He should do. He's a better driver. Mark's pretty rubbish, really. But Mark also can make his car quite wide. So again, this is a tight track here at Beds, so therefore there aren't a lot of opportunities for overtaking. Hopefully we're going to do a little bit more LMP over the coming weeks, and depending on how we get going, in a couple of months' time we quite fancy the idea of heading down to Eastbourne for the last round of this year's Nationals, because we went there once before for the MTC Nationals and the track was amazing, and that was the first time we saw LMP live. We had a chat with a couple of sponsored drivers down there, but that is our next sort of venture really with the LMP. We're going to try get a little bit better and get ourselves down to Eastbourne for the last round of the Nationals. Okay, so here it is, the A final of the touring cars. Mark's moving into position. I should be second on the grid. I'm away. Okay, so Mark is out in front, and as I'm coming together there, Adrian just clipping the back of me. But I've got a little bit of space between myself and Mark now. He's got away. He's absolutely flying. Mark with his Bender TT01 has been... is the word aggressive? I'm not sure. We've basically coined the new phrase. So if you get tagged from behind or you get taken out, then you have been broomed. And that is the new saying between Chris and myself, because I got broomed on a number of occasions throughout the evening, as did Chris. But let's get back to the racing. So if you have a look, you have got Chris in the blue, and you have got Mark close behind, and the rule was before, if we're with each other on the track, we are racing. It doesn't matter if you're a lap up, a lap down, we are racing to the flag. So if he wants to get past Chris on the track, he is going to have to do it cleanly and fairly. Now, Chris is very good at holding his line. Mark kept trying to make the move at the far end of the straight, which Chris was closing the door. Unfortunately, Mark just could not pull off this move, and with the rules we didn't want to get broomed, so therefore we were giving Mark a hard time if he did try and bully his way through. Now, throughout the day's racing, I was able to sort of comfortably catch up with Chris on the track. However, in this final, Chris has found some real pace. I was hoping that when Mark got onto the back of Chris, I'd be able to catch up, but there you go. Mark's just gone round the outside of Chris. Adrian he's running pretty clean lines at the moment, but I am kind of on my own with this race. It's not the most exciting race for me, but Mark is hot on my heels, and I have no intention of letting him past fairly, and I imagine he is going to try and stick it up the inside or just drive through me, as he has done in many of the other races we've had recently. But he's found some real pace. A little mistake there, bit of grip roll from Mark, which has given me a little bit of space. Adrian's getting out of my way there. Nicely done, Adrian, thank you for that. Which means I didn't get held up and I didn't get Mark even closer to me. So in terms of the TT01s, I have been enjoying running this car. The first time I took it out over at Leighton Buzzard a few weeks ago, the car was handling awfully, and I've done a little bit of work just tweaking it and getting it back running as it should, and it's starting to find some pace now. However, Mark is running slightly different gearing actually to me. He is running his outdoor gearing, so I believe he's running a 25-55, and he's got a humongous fan on his car, where I am sticking with the 58 spur, so it's running a little bit slower. But on a tight track like this, you shouldn't really need to gear it up, although Mark is finding a way to use that power. Right, so Mark is now catching, and he is hot on my heels, and it's a case of whether I've got the skills to hold him off. I mean, we've had a few good battles on the day. It's great fun actually. We're really enjoying me and Mark sharing the track together. Our channel was kind of built on Mark and I racing cars bumper to bumper, and when we get nice and close like this, I enjoy making my car as wide as possible. Really push Mark to make a clean pass, and this is what we kind of did in the early days of Popalong with the FTX Vantages, and then with the Tamiya Minis. Then we went on to the TT01s. Mark tried to get up the inside there, but there wasn't room, so he hit the inside barrier. Anyway, that's given me a little bit of space. Mark's back on the hunt. That was Mark's chance, really, I think, to get past me. I don't know that he's got time left to catch up again, but I haven't been able to catch up with Chris. Chris is putting in a really solid show. Adrian's doing some good clean lines there. He has made a couple of mistakes which have been costly. This isn't the easiest track to marshal because of the layout. Like, the one side of the track is completely cut off, so therefore it's hard to get across to. But do you know what? It is a nice, small, tight, technical track for honing your skills. And there is the end of the race. So let's have a little look at the scoreboard. And it looks like Mark was flying at the end of the day. Mark is Pro Racer Mark versus Club Racer Carl.